Can I start? Can I start, Smitha?
Yes, Asha, you can start.
Good evening, Masters. Thank you for joining day 4. Today we are going to learn about acidic body condition, alkaline body condition, and we will learn what is acid-alkaline balance in the body. And after my presentation, Smitha will be covering the importance of hydration in our body. So let's begin. So today we are seeing so many kidney dialysis centers, right? I'm sure that you know somebody, at least whether in your family or in your extended family, going through conditions like kidney failure or kidney dialysis. So why is all this so much today? Why has these problems increased? Is one of the reasons is the acid load in the body. So as the body gets toxic, the body's natural balance, which should be alkaline. So our blood should be in the alkaline range. So between 7.35 to 7.45 or something like that. So that should be the pH value of our blood. pH means potential of hydrogen. It denotes the acidity or alkalinity of our blood. So our blood should always be on the alkaline side. So water is neutral, and we learned right in high school the bases are alkaline and the acids are below 7. So our blood actually has to be alkaline. But what happens is over time, as we eat or as we live, the way we eat causes acid waste inside the body. And some of the parameters which are used by the medical industry to find out the acid levels in the body is known as PRAL, P-R-A-L, potential renal acid load. So another way of measuring is net endogenous acid production or NEAP or net acid excretion. So basically they all mean the same. They are values which denote the amount of acids which are there in your body. So you can see that certain foods which are high in phosphorus, which are high in sulfur, all these chemicals, they combine with the other things inside the body and they create acid waste inside the body. So the balance which has to be on the alkaline side shifts more towards the acid sides. But if you eat fruits and vegetables which are high in potassium, magnesium, all these things, the balance shifts more towards the alkaline side. So actually, for good health, our blood should be on the alkaline side, as I said. So here you can see the PRAL values of different food items. So positive PRAL value means more acid production, whereas negative, more the negative it is, that means it is alkaline causing. So you can see meat, fish and seafood. Actually, dairy is not here, but dairy is also very acid producing, right? For example, when you have to bake cake, what do? You add some soda and then you mix milk inside the batter, right? So the milk has lactic acid which will react with the soda and create the bubbles. So that shows that milk is acidic in nature, right? So it's very simple way to do that. So similarly, every animal product is high in acid waste creation. Whereas if you go towards plant-based products, especially fruits and vegetables, you can see that they are so alkalizing, right? So they do not create acid waste in the body. Now let's see what happens if acid waste is created in the body. So here you can see the acidosis cycle. So if we eat and drink acid substances, we have little or no exercise to throw out those acids, and these acid itself irritate the stomach. They do not get digested easily. They cause constipation and poor bowel elimination. So what happens is the acid gets retained inside the body. So the the kidneys, right, which have a very important job of throwing out the acids through the urine, there are like millions of filters in the kidney to filter out all the waste. So these filters get damaged because there is too much acid in the body, right? So kidneys start getting scarred and they start slowing down in functioning. They are not able to throw out the waste properly. They get clogged with all this acid waste, which causes kidney failure, lupus, and which finally leads to a situation where dialysis may be needed. So tissues and organs become acidic. So it's not just kidneys, even the skin, for example, which has to take on the load of elimination of waste. Even the skin, uh, you may start seeing skin problems as the skin tries to throw out the acidic waste. Even the lungs, right, get saturated with mucus because there's a lot of acidic waste in the body. And not only that, today many elders are getting diagnosed with osteoporosis. That means weak bones. So just a small fall is enough for them to break their hip bones or cause hairline fractures. See, when we were young, you remember, right? We used to jump from high walls, do all kinds of, daring acts. And even if we fall down, we would not break a bone actually. We may get hurt, but breaking of bones was very rare. But today, many elders, they just break a bone even when they are just sitting. They may have hairline fractures. They may have weakening and thinning of bones. The skeletal structure starts shrinking. So what happens is the acid waste in the body is tried to be neutralized by the body through some salts. So the body takes out some calcium reserves from the bones to neutralize this acid. So what happens is, as the body keeps withdrawing calcium from the bone reserves, the bones start becoming thin, weak, and porous. So once the bones become thin and weak, even a small amount of pressure put on them is easy to break them. So even the skeletal structures shrinks. That's what I said. The bones are shortened by leaching of calcium. So we get weak, brittle, and porous bones. Not only these problems, but other things like other chronic illnesses, cancers, arthritis, which is basically the acids attacking the joints of the body. All these things are caused by eating excess acid producing food, and not just eating, but also lack of exercise to keep our organs of elimination in a good working manner. There are also certain emotions which tend to create acid waste in the body: stress, anger, fear, jealousy, particularly fear, right? Even fear about your own disease can cause more and more acid buildup. Doing things unmindfully in the day, engaging with too many things without proper consciousness, right? All these things, including the smoking, drugs, stimulants, see, tea, coffee, all these are highly acid producing foods. Even caffeine, alcohol, and soda, right? So you must have seen a video where they put a broken teeth into the soda, and they see that the teeth is getting dissolved. So there is so much of acid, carbonic acid inside these drinks, right? So even cooked food which are heavy in grains, fats which are heated to high points, like using oil and using too many nuts and seeds, in the false notion that they give us strength. All these things also create acid waste in the body. So the root cause of heartburn, ulcers, constipation, flatulence, headaches, migraines, arthritis, gout, uric acid, skin problems, bone degeneration, even dental issues, because teeth are part of the skeletal structure, piles, all these things is because of excess acid circulating in the body. We can also call it as toxins, or we may call it as acid. So basically, these are uh, byproducts of metabolism or our thoughts, which haven't been processed and haven't been thrown out from the body. So as this keep getting circulated by the blood, they can cause problems in all parts of the body. So we cannot solve this problem by quick fixes like drinking alkaline water, for example. That is not the way how the body works. It has to come through food. It has to come with a natural lifestyle. So, which are the alkaline producing foods, and how do we restore the acid alkaline balance in our body? Is you have to eat food which are negative on the PRAL scale, right? So, raw fruits, vegetables, greens, all in raw form, right? You have to eat more and more from this category. Then perform sufficient physical exercises to enable proper blood circulation and to enable the body to throw out the acid waste. Then meditation. When we do meditation, we gather energy, and this energy, which is obtained by the body, will be employed by the body to remove these acid wastes inside. Then mindfully living in the present, instead of worry, fear, and all, which is basically living in the past or future, we should avoid it and enjoy and live in gratitude in the present moment. Swadhyay, right? Reading spiritual books. Here, I should also add reading nature cure books, because this program is primarily about nature cure. So this was something I used a lot when I was in my healing journey, because frankly, this information is not available mainstream, right? No doctor has the time to explain to you what is happening. So it is up to you to read books and understand what your body is trying to do, understand the physiology of your body, the self-healing mechanism. We have several nature cure books with us, which are, belonging to the 18th century, and all those things, which are like classic books, which I urge all of you to read. We will be sharing these books on the last day. We have a library set up. So read these books, to be stable and positive on your healing journey. Practice positive emotions such as gratitude, compassion, and oneness. Compassion for yourself also, compassion for your body, compassion for what you are going through, also compassion for others in your family who may be going through this, right? So all these things help us maintain a stable mind, and when we have a stable mind, the energy drain happening on the mental side will be stopped a lot, and the body can come back to balance. Exposure and connection with natural elements. So today, most of us are not spending enough time outdoors in sunlight. We are inside closed doors and walls, which is actually unnatural. We will be speaking more about non-food factors of good health in one of the sessions. So there you will understand more. But just connecting to nature and the nurturing capabilities of nature helps us to relax, helps our body come back to balance. All the digestion and the problems in the excretion, elimination which are happening will get reset on its own if we just connect to nature. It also helps us to regulate our moods. It regulates the circadian rhythm, which we will speak about when we speak about diet plan. So this is a very, very important aspect of healing. Don't just focus on food, but there are other aspects also for our body to be in homeostasis and restore the balance. So now Smitha will take us through the importance of hydration.
Yeah. So friends, the very first thing that you'll have to remember is we are what do you say, we mimic Earth. So Earth, if you look at the components that we have in our body, we are made up of 5 elements, right? In this 5 elements, the gross part of our body, which is the bones, the muscles, the tissues, the physical body itself, that represents Earth, the Earth element. And then the liquid in our body, which is the blood and the lymphatics and the enzymes and hormones and all of that, that represents the water element. And then we have the air element, which is the air that happens in our body, right? And then all the vayus that we have in our body, the different kind of air elements. And then we have the ether element and the heat element. Ether element is the what do you say, the pranic element, the akashic element and all that, the subtle energy element that we have. So we are made up of these kind of 5 elements. Now when we come to the earth element, and this earth element and the liquid component of the earth element, if you see earth, it is almost 80% made up of water. Oceans, rivers, lakes, all kinds of water bodies. If you look at the globe itself, you see majorly blue color when you look at the globe, right? Similarly, when somebody looks at us, let's say if we were earth-like, then if somebody would look at us inside our body, ideally we should also look like earth only, earth element, which means we should be blue most of inside our body. But earth herself is a soul, and she is already in her soul state. She's not in a body consciousness state. So she knows how to maintain her water element, air element, and all that. She knows. She creates volcanoes, she creates tsunamis, and causes what is this called, corona. All of these things she only brings on earth, on her inhabitants, and then she keeps cleaning herself up. She keeps detoxing herself. But look at us, we are in our body consciousness state. We don't know what is this elements that we have, how the body works, right? We are not in our soul state. So because of that, there is a tendency to misunderstand and then get carried away in the Maya or the illusion and the false knowledge that keeps coming to us. So it is a journey, I agree. So, but in this course, we are going to talk about how much we are connected to that earth element. And if she is able to maintain her water bodies, we should also be able to maintain our water bodies. So now we have blood and all of those things I told you, like liquid element. So that is predominantly what we are made up of. But if you look at what you are eating right from morning to night, are you drinking more or are you eating more? So we are eating more only, right? We eat solids in the morning, and then again we eat solids in the afternoon, again we eat solids in the evening, and again we eat solids in the night. So we are not maintaining our liquid balance at all. So because of that, there is a lot of disturbance in our body. Now what happens when the rivers dry up? When the rivers dry up, lots of these aquatic animals die, and all these let's say the animals and all of those things that depends on the aquatic animals, they die. So lots of life on earth gets destroyed. And where life on earth is getting destroyed, lots of these scavenger elements like fungus and all of those things, they basically survive. Even when there is nothing on earth also, fungus and other things can survive. That is the basic nature of scavengers. When there is water and there's humidity and all that, then also they operate. When there is nothing also, they operate. So that is a kind of, so when our body becomes dehydrated, then we also go into such kind of, what happens on earth, droughts, famine, and those kinds of things happen, right? Even inside our body also such kind of things happen. See, whatever we are teaching in Nature Cure, right, it is very, very simple. You don't even need any education You don't even need to know English or any school, or you don't need to go to school also for whatever we are teaching. You just need to have common sense. And this common sense says, you know what happens on earth when there is no water. Take take the plants in your pot only. If you are not watering for few days, the plants will die. Similarly, even in your body also, if you are not having that hydration element predominantly higher than your solid element, then your body also will not operate properly. So in their best hydrated state, all the organs know how to function efficiently. Now, if you look at different kind of water bodies on earth, some are salty, different kinds of water bodies. Like for example, some are sea water, which has a lot of salt. Some have some different colors. They have different colors. If you look at different parts, water in different parts of the world, some waters are purple because of the natural algae and so many kinds of organisms that live there. Some waters are river waters, which are more edible in nature. So there are different, and some are green in color because of whatever is there inside that. So like this, Earth has different kind of water bodies. And for humans also, she has given different kind of water bodies, like how we have fruits, vegetables, and greens. Inside that also, there's a lot of water. There's a lot, fruit juices are there, vegetable juices are there, and then green juices are there. Greens means inside the juice, inside the greens, the juices are there, right? So which means every single one of them on earth is made up of 80+% of water. So if in a leaf also, it is 80% more water. So which means if you are able to measure that, then you will find out. And then if you look at fruit is also like that. There are some fruits which have maybe 90%, 95% of water, like watermelon. Some maybe 80% of water, 70, 75% of water. But everything is made up of liquid and solid inside them. If you look at banana, papaya, and all of that, they have more solids and slightly less liquids. If you take watermelon, highest amount of liquids, very less solids. If you take grapes, there also a lot of liquids, less solids. If you take pineapple, it is in between these two. So if you think fruit is our primary food, then we have different kinds of fruits, like pulpy fruits. Then we have slightly less pulpy fruits. Then we have more of juicy fruits. Because if when nature made it, it decided that, okay, when human beings eat it, they have to eat stomach full. If you eat watermelon stomach full, you will feel stomach full, but next after some more time, you will feel again hungry, because there was more water and less of pulp. And if we need to eat more of pulp, then we have banana, papaya, chiku, and all of those things. So like this, different kinds of things are there with their water content. But unfortunately, what has happened is, over a period of many centuries, we have lost touch with our natural eating habits. Why? Because in the past, let's say when we entered duality, to experience duality, when we entered it, we had to go through a lot of ups and downs to understand reality about how human journey is all about, different emotional. We had to experience different emotions and learn from it and all that. So we went through a lot of hardships and challenges. And as a part of that, we moved away from our natural habitats. And as a part of that, we lost touch with our natural eating habits also. We became non-vegetarian. We became people eating grains because the birds were eating when we started eating. Because animals were hunting, even we started hunting. And then we looked at, let's say, goat, and we looked at cows and all of that, and they were feeding their young. So we kept them with us like one source of food. And then over a period of time, we started depending on them for agriculture also. So like this, there have been a lot of such different stages. And then wars have happened, famines have happened. We did not really grow our food for a very long time. And then over a period of time, we started growing. So in between all of these things, we have lost touch with our natural eating habits. Because of that, over a period of many generations, the quality of the body that we have has reduced drastically. If you look at your grandmother and grandfather, if you have, let's say, if you are suffering with diabetes at, let's say, 30 or 40, they may have suffered similar diabetes problem maybe at 70 or 80, or maybe 60 or 70. Why is it that they were suffering, they were having issues late in their life, and we are having all of these issues early in our life? Because the quality of that baby that has been continued to get produced generation after generation has deteriorated. Why? Because any baby starts off with a baseline of toxins which has been inherited from the all the ancestors. Every cell we have is a part of some ancestor who has given that cell to make a baby. So like this, every cell that we have has a, let's say, some amount of toxins coming from our ancestors. And of course, not just physical toxins, we have emotional and many other things that we carry as baggage. So like this, since the quality has gone down, if you look at the past, when issues started occurring in the beginning, let's say if you say for any, hypothetically 100 issues, 100 changes should have happened in the body, let's say, for a symptom to come out. But initially they did not have so many symptoms because they had just changed their lifestyle. So our ancestors, very like old, really back ancestors, did not really have all these problems. Over a period of time, as a baby deteriorated, the quality of the baby deteriorated and deteriorated, then they started seeing problems because the baseline had already got established as this much. Then the baby made on top of it with its own lifestyle. So like this, we have started experiencing symptoms. But at that time, they did not know my ancestors made a change in lifestyle. So that's why I'm also experiencing all these problems. You can't say like that because that kind of awareness also was not there. They were deep in duality at that time. So today, we are able to even reflect on all of those things. Now we are thinking about health and all of that. So because of those things, they could not even get in touch with what I should do. So that's why they went to, reactively they went into medicinal approach. First they went into herbs, and that's where Ayurveda and all of those things started. When diseases started expressing itself out from the body, that is when medicines started. And initially when the medicine started, it was always supposed to be herbs, because that was what around us. And the herbs had to be preserved because every time they can't go to the forest or something and keep picking it and coming back. So that had to be preserved in one place. And the best preservation method that was used at that time was honey or ghee. By the time anyway, they were using dairy and all of that. So honey or ghee were the only two things that was used. Today in Ayurveda, they say honey and ghee is the best and it helps us heal and all of those things. It is all a myth. It is just used as a preservative. Over a period of time, when that Ayurvedic knowledge just got passed on from one person to another person, they lost the understanding that it was used as a preservative. So either way, what I'm trying to tell is medicines started taking over to maintain the body. So also over a period of time, the luxury of getting, today we have the luxury of getting fruits and vegetables in the market. You go to the market, you get so many fruits and vegetables because the transportation has improved across the country. And let's say people have started producing a whole lot of food, and then hydroponics and let's say all of those different methods have started to come. Also clean growing also has come. People have, whether it is organic or not organic, also people are basically growing a lot more food these days. And we are able to get access to that. In the past, why the same nature did not give access to all of those fruits and vegetables? Today, why is nature giving us access to all of these fruits and vegetables? Is because today the earth's energy is very high. And today the earth's energy is high and it wants us to go towards a better spiritual path by overcoming all our belief, all our limitations. In the past, they were still going through that, the growing up and all was still happening. The learning was still happening at a much slower pace. That is what they say, that in the past, when people had to do a lot of sadhana, they had to literally do a lot of sadhana to get maybe little bit of benefit and growth also. Today, even without doing a lot of sadhana also, we are able to see that growth because the earth's energy itself is very high. So in the past, they did not have access to all of these fruits and vegetables. So what they did was there were many people who came as healers and practitioners and all of those things. They did a lot of, they knew that there is a lot of liquid balance that is inside our body. So they did a lot of fasting. They did a lot of water fasting. They intake water. They used to go only on water and all of that, because there was no fruit. Fruit was a luxury. Even when I was a child, the only fruit my father used to get was banana. Apple also used to be very, very costly at that time. Even 60 rupees per kg used to be very costly when I was a child. So my father was a middle class man. He did not really get access to all of those things. So only banana every day, maybe when they go to the market once in a week, they would get one bunch of banana, 1 dozen of banana. That used to go on for the whole week. Today, we have the luxury of eating only fruits for the whole day. So we have to be so lucky, sorry, thankful. Coming back to this liquid part, so if you, and even today we have BWSSB and all government supplying water to us in pipes, and when we open the tap only we get water. But in the past, imagine, there used to be so many children in the house, and there never used to be water supply like that. They had to go through to a river or some nearby water body. Even today, when you go to remote villages and all, they still take water pitchers or water pots, multiple water pots. In Rajasthan also we know that, right? They take multiple water pots, go across to some water body, collect and come back. And then when we go ahead and say, oh yeah, see, you need a lot of liquid balance, 80% of water is there in our body, 3 liters, 4 liters of liquid you have to consume. All this first world statements, if I start giving, that's it. The mother will say, okay, you want me to live or you want me to die? My back is still holding on because I want you to drink only when you're thirsty. So all of these practices of drink when you're thirsty, don't overdo this, don't overdo that, has come in because of lack of supply of all of those things. So today, in today's time, the situation is we are emotionally overloaded and full of baggage, which means we are emotionally in a very, not in a very stable state, because the expectation from the world is much higher than what we're supposed to be. So the sadness is more, the frustration is more. All of these negative energies are basically more. I don't want to call it negative, but the lower forms of energies are much, much higher in our life, in our body. And we fight with our, we fight, or we have, what do you say? We don't have good relationships with our spouses, or we are always in a very dissatisfied state. So these basically draw a lot of energy, create a lot of diseases in the body, which was not the very, very case in the past. In the past, if ladies were abused, they would say, this is what life is. This is what life is. And yeah, this is how the husband is. This is how the mother-in-law is. Yeah, we have to go through all this, they would say. But today's ladies are not in a stage to even accept that as normal. See, this is what is called the rise in consciousness. In the past, I had a case where the daughter had cancer, and she had gone through a lot of abuse from her after marriage. So because of that abuse, because of the emotional abuse she underwent cancer. And of course, in the last stages, they came to us and we couldn't really do much, and nature care also couldn't do, they couldn't heal because the elimination was so much more than what the body could take, and she died. After some time, the mother also had cancer. The mother was quite old, but she also had cancer, and she also recently passed away. So when we compare the lives, the mother would tell me that I used to tell them, see, she has gone through a lot of abuse, but then it was her own emotional, how she emotionally took that abuse into her own thing, and she hurt herself. But the mother, she said, even I went through the same things, but for me, I did not take it so personally. I did not take it so personally. I didn't really suffer so much, she said. That suffering, we go through all this, that karma, but that suffering is all about individual perception that we go through. So in the past, people really did not think that they didn't have too much of expectation. They didn't have likes, they didn't have dislikes. They just accepted life the way it came. So that the diseases growing in our body because of emotional reasons also was very, very less. But today we have a lot more reasons for disease progression in our body, and we have a lot more toxins in our body because of, let's say, physical toxins, let's say maybe pollution, chemicals that are there in today's times, pollution that we get from water, or that we get from fumes that are coming from cars and buses and those kinds of things. In many forms, we have advanced chemicals that are entering our body, maybe vaccinations, maybe medicines. So or maybe pesticides itself are much, much different compared to what our ancestors ate and drank and all that. So the kind of chemicals we have, the kind of toxins we have are much, much stronger than what our ancestors face. For that kind of period, whatever they taught was applicable. For today's period, whatever is applicable is has to be far more purer, has to be far more energetic, has to be far more subtler than what they faced. So today, in my experience, juices are one of the best forms of detox in the body. White juices, like it has water, it has 80% water, and it also has the nutrition coming from fruits, vegetables, and greens. You can mix whatever combination you want because everything is a liquid. So there is no mixing rules for juices. You can mix all the liquid component, that is plain liquid coming from any of these things. You can basically mix and drink. This is nature's purest form of water. It is called bioavailable water, which has soaked up the sun, which has taken the water from the soil, which has taken the air element, which has taken all these elements for a very long time in nature, and it has one of the most best enzymes that acts as soap inside your cells. And when you drink all these juices, they clean up your cells. If you look at your mixie or anything, mixie jar, mostly because of these chutneys and all of these things that you keep doing, raw grinding that you keep doing, they become discolorized. But if you keep putting water in a container, does it become discolorized? No, because there are no enzymes in water. It is neither acidic nor alkaline. It is neutral. So water cannot clean your cells. Only juices can clean your cells. This is my experience. You may hear many people telling many things. Oh, juices are very, very full of sugar in that. You should not drink juices. It is not whole and all of that. I'm not a person who thinks that logic is more important. I personally believe that experience is more important. In my experience, I've seen time and again, I have healed through many of these things. So which is what I did for my kids also, which is what I am helping my clients also. Since 2014, I've practiced this very diligently in many, many complex cases, cancers, nervous issues, many, many cases. And then every single time it has proven to be worthwhile. It has proven to show that it is working. Because when I trust nature in its purest form, nature is also responding back to me in its purest result. So this is, and these juices, right? It's not like you should take it like medicine. Oh, I am very sick today. Juices also gives you something called the digestive rest. So when you drink, in fact, fruits itself are pre-digested in nature, which means it doesn't undergo enormous digestion. When you take the juices of all of these raw foods, they also don't need any digestion. They are already available for the body. It's like having they give drips now, glucose drips in the hospital, something like that. It goes directly into your bloodstream. There is no breaking down. There is not much of work to be done by the body. So when the body is very sick and you're able to bring in juices inside your body, it is not only getting the nutrition, it is also getting the water component. Because when we go through water fasting and all that, which is the highest form of fasting, when can we do water fasting? When you're already clean in your body and your body is already hydrated from all your previous lifestyle, you have already practiced that efficient living, and then you go on water, then body is not going to feel thirsty at all. It is already so hydrated that you don't feel like drinking water also. But even if you feel like drinking, you'll drink water. So that is what is called water fasting. And in my opinion, water fasting should not be done to clean the body. Water fasting should be done for spiritual advancement, because that is the highest form of advancement. And to clean the body needs much more than water, which is juices. So continue to clean your body through juices on a daily basis. And when the body is sick and it is like you're bedridden with fever or running nose and like sort of loose motion and all of those things, just flush your body. The more you keep flushing and flushing and flushing with your juices, bring in every single day that 80% liquid balance inside your body, then what will happen? Every single cell will get cleaned up and cleaned up. You will urinate every single toxin from all your body, and you will become so pure and clean, and you will see that energy bursting from yourself. Today you may be doing so much of fruits and vegetables and salads for the whole day, and you may still not have seen enough improvement in your lifestyle. You may not have seen enough energy reflecting in your body because you have not even understood that the body is 80% liquid. Do you even want to agree and say, okay, because body is 80% liquid, I'm going to just eat one meal of fruit and rest of it I'm just going to be on water? Is that going to give you any form of nutrition? No, it's not going to give you nutrition. You need to be on exclusively a lot of plant foods to get that kind of energy inside your body. See here, these things are not bringing you energy. The body is saving energy from foods. Your body already has energy reserves, but it is getting used up for all this cleanup and digestion and all of that. But now when you free up all of those things by giving ready-made nutrition inside your body, then it will clean you up. It knows what to do. It will clean you up and it will make you healthy. And then you can slowly get to that spiritual progress. Spiritual progress is our final objective. Our final objective is not to heal diabetes. It is not to heal BP or something. All of that healing is a byproduct of your choice of lifestyle, which is necessary for the body. You listen to the body, you give the body what it wants. You say, okay, body is 80% liquid, I'll give 80% of pure liquids. So like this, if you maintain your body, then in the highest hydration levels, your body will perfectly work, and all your problems, whether it is nervous issues, whether it is, let's say, depression, whether it is all these bipolars and whatever issue that you're thinking, everything will basically clean up and body will go back to healing. So on a daily basis, you have to have juices and you have to have little bit of water also. Like for example, let's say your body is sick, at least bring in 1 to 1.5 liters of juices every single day. And how do you bring in juices? Watermelon has juices, right? Watermelon has a lot of juices. Then cucumber has a lot of juices. Ashcard has a lot of juices. I don't believe in ABC juice and all of that. Why ABC juice and all? I don't believe, because apple has liquid, but it doesn't have so much of liquid to give me, let's say, 1 liter of liquid, 1 liter of juice and all. What about beetroot and carrot? They also don't have so much of liquid in them. Pulp only is this much. So when you make the juice, this much of pulp and this much of liquid should not come. This much should be pulp and this much should be juice. You should always select like that. You should see what God has given in nature, in which liquid is more. Even if you drink the same thing every single day, you should pick something that has more liquid in them every single day. You can combine vegetables, you can combine fruits, you can combine greens, mint, spinach, coriander, curry leaves, amaranthus, whatever is available in your region. You can basically combine all of those things in a juicer and then you can make it. Okay, I don't have a juicer. I would say it's worth investing in a juicer, but then if you can't invest in a juicer, mixie and then filter it. Here's smoothie is not equal to unfiltered juice, is not equal to filtered juice. And some people say, oh, I'm wasting so much of fiber. Can I put that also inside my body through tikkis or through roti and all of those things? See, the very idea of saving energy inside your body so that it can clean you was to remove that fiber and eat and drink all that liquids, which have so much of nutrition. If you had to eat all of that 1 liter, 1.5 liter worth of fiber, then you can't eat that much of fiber. And all that fiber, all that enzymes are necessary for you to clean up something that you have not done for years together. Sometimes something that your ancestors only have not done for years together. If you do this shift, you're giving birth to a baby after cleansing, you can see the amount of energy that you can see, the amount of vitality that you're basically going to pass on to your child, especially when you're clean. I had a case who has already healed now. So they have gone through the parents, both the parents had issues, and they eventually gave birth to a baby. But then even before they gave birth, they have gone through their own natural birthing process without any result. They've gone through IVF process without any results, multiple IVF process, which is very expensive, no result. If birthing was so simple, if birthing was so mechanical and doctors, everybody could do it, why shouldn't IVF not do it, right? It did not work. Finally, my belief is today Earth is vibrating at a very high energy, and souls, ascended masters, very high energy souls are waiting to come to Earth to basically help Earth go through this transition period. And they have so much of high energy that they really cannot get into a womb with lower energies, with full of toxins and all of that. They can't sustain in that environment. So when we work with mothers and then help them clean up, go through the detox, make them more spiritual, help them meditate every single day, make them more, spiritually oriented, then what will happen? Their higher vibrating energies will also bring in those kinds of souls which are already not expecting lower forms of karma. They are already, they'll already be in the process of being very high vibrating themselves. So you can see that in children today. When many parents come to me and they say this child is sick with this, child is sick with that and all that, then I will tell the child will automatically get into fruits, vegetables and green. You try and see. Those child, without any fuss, they are eating fruits and vegetables because they are already very high masters. After 2012, all children who are born are all very high masters. You don't even have to do and give any kind of cooked food to them. They will continue to keep eating fruits all day. So that kind of energies they already have. So these kinds of things happen, friends. So we need to clean ourselves through juices and fruits and all that. So here the message that I'm trying to give is, if your body is full of toxins, you need to flush it. And flushing happens only with juices, not with only plain water. You can bring in lemon water, you can bring in tender coconut water and all that, but they will not be able to do the same thing that are going to come from fruits, vegetables and greens. So, and people with diabetes cannot have fruit juices initially until their diabetes fully reverses. Over time, they will be able to bring in fruit juices. Initially, only vegetables and greens juices. Combine that and then you can start feeding. After that, they will reverse their diabetes very soon. And once it becomes less than 150, then you can add little bit of fruits along with lot of vegetables like apple, you can add grapes, you can add little bit of watermelon, all that you can add in the juices, and then you can drink. Then it will still be okay. So all of these things are very important. On a daily basis, at least 3 to 4 liters of liquid consumption you have to do. If you're facing a lot of diseases, then make juices more, and then make less of water. And then if you're okay, I'm able to manage, I don't have too many issues, then at least 1 liter on a daily basis you drink. You may not have any issues, but once you start drinking juices, you will see what all is going to come out. Many issues don't come out because of dehydration. People have come to me without any issues saying, I just had small issues and all that. But then once they start juicing, they will basically get used to seeing so many problems coming out of their body, not because juice is causing that problem. It is because already they had the toxins inside the body, like loose motions and all that will happen. So when they were already on, let's say, fruit diet for like 4 months, 3 months, but still they did not go through any of these problems, means because they are just touching that point where the body is basically not reacting. There are hardly any triggers for all of that body cleanup to happen. So for the body to clean up, you need to give it a lot of liquids, and all of that is very important, because those chemicals that we've been carrying for years together has to get cleaned up through enzymes that are coming from juices only. And yeah, so this is what is all about liquids. So even our organs, friends, our organs are also predominantly juice liquids only. And what we have as liquids inside our body is not H2O, it's not water, it is another form of liquid. So for even water that we drink gets converted to that form of liquid. Juices that we drink also gets converted to that form of liquid, but it is very, very quick. Okay, so this is what I wanted to communicate today. If you all have any questions, then Asha and I will start to answer. Lenovo tab, can you please come on video and ask your question? Oh. Lenovo tab, you are not unmuting yourself. Okay, we'll go to Seema. Ha, Seema ji. Seema, did you have any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
I wanted to know, like you told me, we have to have lots of fluids in our thing, but they usually tell us to clear the toxins. We have to have fiber also is required.
What is required?
Fiber. The
See,
fiber of the fruit.
Tell me one thing. You when you make a banana smoothie or anything, chutney, whatever you put in the mixie, why do you put water?
To grind it so that
Why water be added? The fiber has everything, no?
No. Let us, I'm telling.
No, I'm just saying the amount of liquids that are there in your eating foods that you eat is not enough. Okay, so if you just keep in a pipe, if you just keep putting solid inside, over time that pipe will become clogged.
No, actually, I'm not telling that way. What my point is, I'm asking that the fiber of the fruit itself, that if we are having an orange, we are, instead of having the juice, we are having it in the natural form as it is.
What I'm saying is, have an orange and have juice of an orange also. I'm not saying skip fruits. I'm saying drink juices also. Fruit is in addition to that. Okay, we are not saying eat only fruits and don't do juices at all. We are saying do juices also, eat your fruits also. Fruits are very important.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any questions? All are very clear about what we have shared today.
Actually, we will be sharing diet plan also then.
Asha, your voice is breaking. Upinderjit ji.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Smitha. Like today, you have told us about hydration and all. I just wanted to ask you that will you be telling us the combinations of different fruits, veggies, the kinds of juices which we can prepare?
See, typically it's you should. So here we should become what do you say, recipe creators ourselves. How do we create recipe? When you look at, let's say, all these juice books and all that, it has been typically written by all American masters and European masters and all. There they have so many different kinds of things, so they would have written all that, which is not really very useful to us. So what we should do is, in that season, whatever is very liquid in your market, take that, juice it. Every day drink the same thing. There are so many. I'll send some list of stuff also that are available typically in India. So you can make mix and match of any fruit or vegetable and green. Because when you say don't mix this with, don't mix that vegetable with fruit, all of that rules are basically given when it is a solid inside your stomach. Because
Okay.
each of them have different digestion capacities, digestion time periods. But if everything is a liquid, it will basically skip that digestion. So that rule does not apply.
Okay. So all kinds of different varieties we can ourselves prepare, invent,
Yeah.
adding
But I
different
would say that
fruits or.
to make that volume bigger, it has to typically come from your cucumber or ashgard or watermelon only, because there is no other vegetable in India that will give you so much of liquid. On top
Okay.
of that, you can add whatever you want.
Right. Okay, I got your point. Usually what I do every morning, I take a juice, but generally I take a vegetable juice. So I am juicing this beetroot and carrot and one big tomato. Sometimes I add a bit of spinach to it, something like that. One green something I add to it. And this I just grind in the mixer. Then I add water to it. And then I totally, when it is nicely done in the mixer, I shift it in the glass and then a bit of lemon juice and salt and black pepper. This is what I every day drink in the morning. It's like my routine. This vegetable juice I take in the morning.
So see that
Then,
many people are actually doing. But what I am sharing here is slightly radical and slightly different compared to most of the practitioners. You will probably not hear this from anybody. I am
yes,
saying
yes,
it only because of my experience working with complex cases and all of those things.
right.
What I have got is through my own intuition. It is not there in any book so far. And I have put that into practice and I've seen results. So I am
Yes.
saying that one glass is not enough. You will not even hit that requirement for whatever body needs in terms of requirement. I am saying you go much higher, because if you see, juices or liquid is much more subtler in energy compared to solids. So
Yeah.
why do we have fruits and all that? Because their energy levels are very high. The
Yes.
vibration of the fruit is very high, or
Mhm.
vegetable or whatever. So we are going one step higher and saying drink juices whose vibration is much higher. So you will
So,
save a lot more energy.
yeah, but I also, somebody told me like earlier when I keep on listening to some other dietitians or some
Absolutely.
diet plans. So they told us that don't mix up vegetables and fruits. So at one time you can take vegetable juice, at another time you can eat fruits or you can take fruit juice or something like that.
See, you have probably not asked why. And if they've told a why also, they would have told you don't mix, because they will get digested differently and all of that.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is there is no fiber
Mm.
in them. It does not matter.
Okay. Okay.
And since 2014, I've been doing all these things. So I have not seen any clients complain. Cancer cases and all, I'm definitely going to bring in this workshop, who will talk about many of them. Many of our cancer cases have been on juices only for 2 months and 3 months and all, and their cancers have already reversed. And
Yeah,
who
yeah,
said
yeah.
you cannot be on juices for two things? They personally prefer to be on liquids because they see a whole lot of energy levels, and basically body cleanup is much faster. They save a lot of energy, but that's why body is able to clean itself much faster. And not only
Okay.
that, they are into sun, they are into gratitude, they are into all forms of emotional healing and
Yes, yes,
nature
yes.
connect and all of
Right.
that.
Mhm.
Along with that, food wise, even if they eat solids, it's only fruits. They don't eat vegetables and all of that. They don't even come close to vegetables even for a year. So
Okay.
we are bringing such cases on this
So,
workshop. They will talk about their thing. What I'm saying is
so
it's important to understand that liquid in any form is okay, coming from these
okay.
natural sources.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
quantity is more important than the variety. Oh, apple is better than pomegranate. There's nothing like that. Nature has given same amount of importance in everything. So you can bring that quantity from anything and you will see value. You will see that potential or healing inside your body.
Right. So, you know what, if we are taking a variety of fruits and juicing some of them, then it is fine. And then even if we are making vegetable juice or consuming lots of raw vegetables, that's also fine. So
See,
if
how are
we,
you spending your energy? It depends, no? if let's say for a person who's suffering from cancer, he is battling life and death. So
Yeah,
his
yeah.
need is to live. So
Yes.
he will probably make the best of the choice. He will say, I just need nutrition and I don't even have to work hard for digestion at all. I will make that choice, he will say, and then he will go through that, and then he will see, he will get nutrition also, and body is 100% or let's say 99% working on only the body. There is no digestion happening at all. But let's say a person with he's working with diabetes or BP or something, yeah, they are not probably in that stage, so they can do a mix of this and that. They can do cooked food also. But a person, let's say, is not having any problems, no BP, diabetes also, then he can see, all these are luxuries, all these are indulgences. Cooked food is definitely an indulgence. In the solid food, if you take fruits, vegetables and greens, vegetables are much lower in energy compared to fruits.
Fruits.
So what does that mean? It means that if you eat vegetables, they take a longer time to digest compared to fruits. So
Okay.
longer time to digest means you are saving less energy in your body. So which
I
means that
got your
much of
point.
less energy is going for your healing. So we
Mhm.
have to, I will talk about this vital energy and balance and all that in the, I will about it tomorrow, day after tomorrow. But before that, I just want you to get an understanding that we do a lot of juicing on a daily basis so that we can save that much of energy, bring that much of liquid to clean ourselves on a daily basis. Otherwise, if you don't drink liquids every other day, every other, let's say that much of period, depending on your lifestyle, you will accumulate toxins and then you will go through fever and those kinds of processes.
Okay.
We don't
Got
have
your
to
point.
go through that installment release every single time if you are
So,
maintaining all these things.
so Smita, if we follow this kind of diet in which we are consuming most of the fruits and juices in most part of the day, so after that, that one meal which we take, which we call as early dinner or something like that, in that though we will take cooked food, no? Or we
Yeah,
won't take cooked food.
no, we will suggest a diet chart in which there is definitely cooked food. But the importance of raw is what we want to bring inside this workshop. Cooked
Right, right.
food is what we eat for our mind. We are not
Hmm.
eating it for our body. We want to feel happy. We want to feel satisfied. It's not like the body
Hmm.
is getting any benefit with cooked food. We are
Hmm.
just eating it for pleasure. So that pleasure component should be about quarter portion in your life on a daily basis. 3/4 portion in your life should be what the body wants. Because if the
But
body is
then,
not healthy, you are only suffering. No.
aren't the lentils or pulses or grains important? Like that 10-12% earth element also we need to add to
For
our diet,
who
na?
can eat it? Who can eat it in its natural state? Can you eat it in its natural state? No, you can't. Who's
No,
eating
but
it? Chickens
it
and
will
all will
be
eat it.
processed and cooked,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. So if we are not able to eat it, so what we are doing is to eat it, we are doing multiple steps. We are adding
Hmm.
multiple things so that they become edible.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they are not edible. So they are all pleasure items. We got all
Correct.
these pleasure items into our life because of various issues, survival issues we had in the past. Today we may not have survival issues, but then yeah, to get to that non-survival, rather to the actual mode also, we will take our time because mind. They say
Hmm.
that even alcohol is not that addictive. Food is only addictive,
That's right.
right?
And
So we will get through this
we
addiction
have
over a period of
one more very big challenge. The challenge is that we have to feed the family.
No,
So
no,
you
no.
know
I
the
would suggest that you always do this first for yourself. Family does not come into picture unless it is
okay.
little
First,
children who are listening to
hmm,
you and you have
hmm,
control and all of that. Apply to little children. But otherwise, adults don't even bother to even suggest this lifestyle to them. You should be an inspiration. You should be a joy. When they see you, they see your changes. They will get
hmm,
inspired to do it like you. So give it at least 6 to 8 months.
hmm,
You do this, you put a lot of investment into your own stuff. When that overflows and shows joy and happiness and whatever reflection outside, they will automatically come inside this journey. Don't force
right, right.
anybody. That is going to become very overwhelming for you to answer them as when they have questions. And in fact, if you do that, they'll say, see, this is not working for me. You also don't have answers. and this is not going to work, and they will just quit.
So it's okay. I would like to try it for myself first,
Absolutely.
and when others can be inspired by it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. See, please
Acha,
understand that nobody dies with food issues and all of that. Death is a separate process. So we are only having our karmic problems and other things, right? So let them suffer. They will get a time for transformation, and they'll see you and they'll change.
And these days, they talk a lot about millets also. So I wanted some clarification on that also. Like they say ki millets are very healthy and you should include at least one millet every day. Maybe like if we take dinner,
See,
whole
in
day
the
we.
in the cooked category, there is a lot of levels of how much of energy burn they will do. Like this, if you are on savings bank investment, if you are on savings account, rather you have a savings bank account and you have money in it, you are not working, then how much of charity you can do on a daily basis? Some days you can do charity. After that, your charity will run out. Your money will run out. That is what is cooked food. You are burning your fuel to enjoy that. So when you eat millets and grains, lot more will be expended. When you eat cooked vegetables, slightly less will be expended.
Okay.
So when people say millets are better and all of those things, maybe millets are definitely better than maybe rice or wheat and all of that. But everything comes under the same category. What I would say is, eat whatever grain you want in that portion. Bring little grain for your pleasure. Add a lot more salads, 50% salads, bring it into your plate. We will cover that in the next upcoming chapters. Millets and all of those things, we will cover more in detail.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of clarity I have got today. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Do we have any questions on the chat? No, please don't put salt, pepper.
I answered it.
Oh, you answered.
I don't think we have any other questions today.
So, yeah, I think we are in time. 2 more minutes if you have any questions. Otherwise, we can close the call. If you don't know how to raise your hand, you can type on the chat. We will unmute you. Sometimes I think finding that hand raise is also slightly confusing. Okay, friends, I think you all don't have any more questions. We will just, I wanted to actually make you all meditate today. Before we go, can we just meditate for 1 minute and then disperse? So just close your eyes, friends. Just to soak in all of this energy that has just come in. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Relax your body. Continue to focus on your breath. Keep your hands on your eyes and slowly, gently open your eyes. Thank you everyone for joining today. It has been a great experience. Thank you once again. Bye. Lakshmi, I will stop the recording.
Okay, madam.